Hey Roberts families, this is Stephen Helmick, your principal, and I'm excited to come to you today with some clarity and answers. I know that lots of you have been waiting a long time to know what in the world does a reentry plan look like for Roberts Elementary. So the district plan should be finalized again today. They're coming out with an update, and our school plan has been approved. I'm excited about that, and we will be pushing that out to our staff tomorrow. And on Friday, our plan is to push out our reentry plan for Roberts Elementary to our families. Here's what that will look like. When you receive the reentry plan, it is a lengthy document that is always a living document. As we all know, in this pandemic, things can change very frequently. And so as changes occur or as we need to adjust during the process, we will. And so know that when you look at it, you're looking at a living document, but you're looking at a document that has been worked on for a very long time by lots of staff. I want to thank our guiding coalition of staff and families and medical professionals that have also kind of weighed in on their thoughts about things to help us make as good of a plan as we can. Is any plan perfect? No. But I hope that what you see is that there's been a lot of thought put into what does reentry at Roberts Elementary look like. Now, all of you have two choices of learning, right? You have an in-person option right now, and you have a virtual option at this point in time. What we are asking is we are asking that families make that final decision by August 7th. Now, the beautiful thing is that you're going to have our Ready to Learn plan, our reentry plan, this Friday. Next week on Tuesday and Wednesday evening, we're going to have live webinars that explain more of the virtual environment. Our plan that you will receive has information about in-person learning, but it also has information about virtual learning. And I think a lot of you have a lot of questions about what that virtual learning looks like. So our first webinar will be at 7:30 on Tuesday night. And when you jump into that webinar, or if you watch the recording of that later, what you'll see is a 30,000-foot view of Schoology that are our ambassadors in our building that have been working hard on learning the platform. They'll navigate you through what does it look like for students and parents and staff during this virtual learning platform usage. The following night, we will have a Q&A session with Roberts administration. As you get the plan this Friday, I know that it's probably going to create for some of you a lot more questions than maybe answers that are given. And so we want you to have an outlet and a space to have those questions answered. A Google form will be sent to you on Friday as well. That Google form is going to be your way to ask questions to Roberts administration that we will take, and then we will spend that hour next Wednesday, August 5th, answering those questions for you. If you are unable to make the webinar, don't worry, that's fine. We're going to have that recorded to push out to families as well. So once you get the plan, you'll have the webinar option as well. You'll have feedback from administration to questions that you have. And then what we'll do is on the 7th, we're asking, and the district is asking, is that you make that final decision. Another thing that will be coming out as well to alleviate maybe some of the burden of virtual learning is we're encouraging learning pods in our school community. Now, every family has had different dynamics during COVID, and I would say that as you have your small group of people that you've been exposed to, a lot of you are trying to figure out what does virtual learning look like if I still have to work. And so that's where the learning pods come in. Lots of social media craze about that right now. People trying to create pods of learning and the complexity of doing virtual learning. And here's what we're asking for Roberts families. If you have a group of families that you know that you would like to be able to be in a pod with together, whether you're starting virtually or if we all go virtual at some point, then you will have a network of people that can help shoulder the burden with you. In doing that is that it simplifies things not only for families, but for our staff. Our staff is going to have a blended teaching approach. And with that teaching approach, teachers will have in-person students and virtual students that they will be serving. In the blended environment, one of the benefits of that is when a student starts out virtually, if they do come in person at some point in time, that virtual teacher will be their in-person teacher. And the flip is also true. If you are starting in person and you need to self-quarantine, or you decide that your family needs to, for certain reasons, to go virtual, then at that point, your in-person teacher will become your virtual teacher. Whole lot of information there, lots of moving pieces that we're working with. But our hope is that through our plan, through our webinars, through the option of looking at learning pods when we create classrooms, our hope there is that we are able to simplify some of the complexity that we're dealing with. Now, when you receive all this, is every single person going to think that everything is great and perfect? Absolutely not, and we're aware of that, and we're prepared for that. But what I hope you do see is that Roberts Elementary staff, we love your kids. We love your families, and we care about you deeply. We care about not only your education of your child, but the safety of your families as well. And then on top of that, Dr. Coulter, Ms. Stewart, and I, we love our staff, and we care for them deeply. And so we're trying to think of what does it look like within the confines that we have of an in-person and virtual environment to take care of them and to protect them to the best of our abilities. The other thing that I would add is that a lot of you have reached out to me about, well, how do I get certain things? Or when do we get devices? Or is there going to be a Meet the Teacher night? All of that information will also be shared in our reentry plan that you'll see. But a couple things that I can share with you is that August 19th and August 20th will be our Meet the Teacher events. And we're very excited about that. However, what I can tell you about those Meet the Teacher events is that they won't be normal where you come in the building. It's going to be a drive-through event. The beauty of that is that you and your student will be able to lay eyes on your teacher. So if you are a virtual student and you're a kindergarten kid that is new to Roberts Elementary, which we can't wait to have you, but if you're one of those new kindergarten kids or you're a new kid to our building, you have the opportunity to see your teacher face to face from your car, but you'll be able to see your teacher, and also, if you're virtual, receive any devices that you need, to receive any textbook or materials that you need. Or if you're a student that's going to be coming in person, it's an opportunity for you to drop off all those supplies to us at Roberts that we will put them safely in the classroom for when that first day of school happens. There is lots of information in the reentry plan about the logistics of all these things. Once again, if you have questions, no worries. Just use that Google form that we will push out to have any of your questions answered, and we'll do the best of our ability to answer all those questions for you. Roberts rocks because of you guys, our community. Roberts rocks because of the amazing staff that we have, and it is an honor to be your principal. I'm excited about the opportunities that this year presents us. We're going to have school, regardless if it's in person or virtual, and we're going to make it through this year together as a school family. Are there going to be bumps in the road? You better believe it. Have there already been bumps in the road? Absolutely. But I am confident that as Roberts Eagles, when we look back on this school year, all of us will have the opportunity to grow and be the best that we can be together. I love that word together. That's one of the words that we've utilized already as administrative team this year. Is you look at hashtag Roberts Rocks, but we also have hashtag together. We're in this together, whether virtual or in person. All of us are living this pandemic together. We're all living what does reentry of schools look like. We're all wrestling through those concerns that we have. And I'm thankful that we get to do it together. We are stronger together. We are better together. Take care. We look forward to talking to you soon and answering those questions soon. But until then, have a fantastic week. Enjoy the weekend upcoming, and we'll talk to you soon.